Hello everyone, this is Koob. I am the developer of SuperHub and I wanted to do a run through of it because I just got version 5 out. Now there's way too much to cover, so I might try to split up the video or I might just try to cover the key features. But let's get started. So you'll notice that I only run 3 plugins, but one is an API and you do not need it for SuperHub to work, but I'll run it. I mean, I suggest you run it if you want the message of the day. The other 2 plugins are SuperHub and Group Manager. Group Manager is my permissions manager, and SuperHub will not work without permissions. Now, I'm going to run it for the first time, and I'm going to show you guys what happens. So what SuperHub is going to do is it's going to find every world and try to import them, unless you ask it to ignore a world. Now, I'm running this on version 1.8. It'll work 1.8 and above. I don't know if it. I think it'll break in all the older versions. So in Group Manager, really quick, the 5 main permissions are these: SuperHub.admin, debug, fun, user, and VIP. These are the main, the core. The other permissions that you can add will be all the bypasses. So for example, break bypass. Anyone with that permission can break blocks, even if breaking is turned off. And maybe redstone trail for the fun menu for the trails, stuff like that. That's what I haven't included here. Okay, so it's going to create all these configurations: chat config, main config, the hub items, the language, blah blah blah. Here's the important one: permissions. As you see, the 5 classes are admin, fun, VIP, debug, and user, which is all the basic stuff. So users are the permissions you should give everyone. I mean, you don't have to, you can define anything, but these are basically what people should have, I think. Then all the admins are to set up the hubs. These are all the bypasses. These are some fun commands: player chat, you can chat as a player, lightning, and the VIPs, and debug for debugging your worlds and errors and stuff like that. So then we have pets, scoreboards, restrictions. Alright, let me just go through it. So this is the message of the day. Ping API lets you have this. I haven't animated yet because it's really hard to do, but I have had all these little things. You can configure all this. So first time you join, you're gonna get a join message. Welcome to the server. Oh, actually, let me just delete my player data so you can see that again, because that was not the first message. Now you can configure if a player should have a. You can configure if you do a first time message or not. Okay, there you go. That's the first time message. So you'll see we get these little custom items. This is the boat popper. Basically, you can pop players. If you don't have an arrow, it'll give it to you. And here's the super kicker. So if you put it on, you'll automatically get this armor, and anyone with it, anyone playing kicking, you can kick them if you hit them, and then they can join. Now brawler is it's basically, it bypasses PvP. So if you have PvP turned off but you engage this, anyone with this can battle it out. And you can configure what happens if you die. Do you die? Do you lose your items? Do you simply respawn? Now here's the server info book. This can be per world. Everything is per world, by the way. If you set up multiple worlds with SuperHub acting on them, you can change all this. So you'll see we're in world, so it's going to say that. You can configure all those messages. Now here's our, I love this thing. Here's the hub menu. You can exit it, you can remove all the modifiers. So you have pets. So here's a blaze. You can ride them, you can do some stuff, teleport them to you. Oh, and some pets have really cool features, so if you're riding them, you can shoot stuff. If you're in a skeleton, you can shoot arrows. Alright, enough of that. So let me get rid of my pet. And you can configure a lot of stuff for all these things too. Particles, basically I don't know. Yeah, a lot of you can play with that. There's a lot of cool things. Then we have the specials. So here's where you can hide players, or you can enable stacking. That's when you can like click on a player and you can ride them. Or here's the navigation menu. Here's where you can basically warp, and you can create custom items that do any command. They can do a console command or a player command. You can configure all this in the configs. So they can do any command. You can do /vote. You can do commands for other plugins. They have permissions too. Like it depends. Okay. Here are trails. So let's see what are cool trails. Maybe Angry Villager. Yeah. There's a lot of cool ones, guys. You have to play with. Gotta play with them. Alright. Then finally the gadgets. So warp core is a really cool thing. You crouch and warp, jump drive, same thing. Propulsion engine, it's pretty much a jetpack. You just gotta crouch and look, and you'll fly around. Same with these, like the warp core. You just gotta crouch. Here, let me find an okay right here. It'll say initializing, half capacity, and then ready. And then when you let go, you'll warp. Now, if you don't want mobs, you can clean all the entities, or you can turn them off. This is how you do all the commands. SH for SuperHub. I'll show you guys that in a second. Finally, you have the mob guns, item guns. You can shoot cool items. Mob guns. I think if mobs are disabled, you can't use some of them. So sheep mode, chicken mode, bad mode. Let's see the party sheep. So yeah, you guys can play around with that. And there's item guns. They shoot really cool things. Paint guns. So the paint gun, you can basically paint the world. And you can hit to switch modes. And if you hit a player, you'll paint them. And if you hit a sheep, you'll paint them too. So if you hit a player, let me show you. I'm not sure where the paint's gonna land. I'm just firing a lot. Oh, I think I killed all the snowballs. I'll just do this. Alright, see, so like, yeah, you'll get painted. It's pretty cool. Oh lord. So that is the hub menu. You can configure all the permissions. So for example, if I wasn't opt, it'll tell me that I don't have permissions to use any of them. Unless you give them the permission. Okay. And you can disable all these things too. So now that we have that out of the way, here is the main command, SuperHub. You'll see how to set up hubs, how to control worlds, toggles, admin stuff, players, fun. So let's look at the hubs. Okay, so you can SH, set, or delete a bunch of different things. Here are the types: hub, games, shop, market, lobby. So there we go, we just set a hub. Or hub 2, or hub 22, or games 1, or whatever. And to go to, you just do hub. Now if you don't have the delay thing, you can bypass that with the permission delay. Now if you have a pending teleport, you can't teleport, and if you move, you'll cancel it. But you can configure that too. Okay, so SuperHub. Now let me show you some of the world stuff. So you can lock time, weather, whatever you want. You can import worlds, delete worlds. So daylight is locked forever. And okay, so clear skies are locked. So now it's never gonna rain, and it's never gonna go dark. Okay, so let's go back. Now let's look at the toggles. This is the main feature of SuperHub. You can toggle all these things in this world or in a separate world. So there's another world. Let's do sh list worlds. You'll see that I'm ignoring the nether and the end in the config default. I mean, you can change that. So I can't really toggle things in those worlds from here. And if you want to list all your things, you can see that. But so basically, sh break. I disable breaking in this world. So as you can see, you can't break. Now, if breaking is disabled, but you want to bypass some blocks, you can go to SuperHub and you can go to restrictions. Here is where you can put in the ID of something, and if breaking is off, or say people can break, but you put this in here, they can never break it. Say breaking is off and you bypass it with always allow breaking, it can break. So here's this config. So if you want to do that, again, SuperHub break, and you can do it in another world. So if there was a world A, you can do it like that. And if you want to import a world, you just do world A. It'll try to find it, and it can't, it'll create it. Or if you have a world folder like this one, hub, I downloaded this, you just put in your server folder and type in the name of the folder, and there you go, it imports it. So here we have basically a hub. Not a hub, like a world that someone built that you can make a hub. Now let's go through this again. So you'll see that all the things you can toggle, and there's a couple ones that I coded myself. For example, piston pad or jump pads. You just put a pressure plate in your jump. So piston pad. Oh, and you can put a question mark to see any command. Okay, it's set to 3, so we can set it to like 2. All you gotta do is walk over a piston, and it'll shoot you up. You can set the force up to 10 for double jump, for the piston pad, and for jump pads. So that's pretty cool. All you gotta do is place the piston down. That's it. You can configure all the sounds for everything in the config too. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay. Now, let's see, what am I missing? So you can teleport on join, on void, on respawns. You can set all that up in game. All you gotta do is type in sh_join question mark, and it'll show you how to do it. So you can stop the server, you can lock game modes, you can reload everything, you can clear chat, you can mute chat, you can stop teleporting, you can lock the server, you can hub everyone. All you gotta do is /hub all. So, oh, okay, so everyone was sent to the hub. It'll tell you how many people are sent. Now, oops. So hub 2, okay, there we go. So you can hub all 2. You'll send everyone to hub 2. Or you can hub 1. Oops. Instead of hub all, you can just hub 1. Oh my god. Oh yeah, okay, I gotta fix that. Anyways, again, you can kick everyone to /super kick. You can set your flying speed. Now, let me show you guys something really quick. In the config, say you don't have essentials. I've added a lot of commands that you can override without /sh. For example, day, night, rain, website, storm, thunder. You know, all these. The reason being is I didn't want to code SuperHub to basically take over other plugins. So instead of sh spawn, I overwrote spawn. So if you turn it off, it'll work for other plugins. If not, SuperHub will try to use it. Make sense? So all these are overridden. That means if they're in one, SuperHub is going to try to just use them. If not, you can do some of them with sh in front of them. For example, mute, sh mute. Let's see. Yep. That's how it should work. Okay. So every time you import a world, it's going to appear here, and everything's going to be created for it. World A, You can toggle all this by hand and then just save the config and reload it. There's a lot of stuff that can be done, guys. You're gonna have to go through it. Now, last thing I want to show you is chat. So you can change prefixes for everyone, player prefixes for specific players, nicknames. If that nickname character shows up, you can change that character. You can even do per world chat. That was really hard to do. So per world chat is basically, I mean, it's self-explanatory. Oh, then I added hub messaging, so there you go. You can message other players. You can figure all that, and I also added this. Oops. Okay, I forgot what it was. But yeah, here's where you can set custom chat for specific worlds or for anyone, and nicknames. So Kubi, it'll appear up there. Just Nick. You can do color chat too. So okay, there you go. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can change up. Let's go a little crazy with everything. Okay, so I did some changes, saves it. Alright, now let me go over the scoreboard, because this is really tricky. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with the scoreboard. You can toggle yours off and on, or you can toggle everyone's in the world. Now you can change the animation. So right now it's stationary. There you saw how it builds up that one, and finally you can set the regular one. You can change all the colors, you can change the names. So scoreboard, title name. This is for local worlds. Okay, so this is local, and now if we do global, oops, global title, sorry, can't spell it today. There you go. Now you can also, the little news message, you can stop it and it'll just be stationary, or you can do that, you can change it. You can also broadcast the message with the title bar. So you'll see how it's broadcasting up there for a little bit of time. And there's a lot of stuff you can do to the scoreboard, so let's see. Let me show you. You could pad it. Scoreboard, let's see, okay. So you guys just basically have to go through all this, and it depends on what you guys like. Alright, so there's a non-padded scoreboard. Oh no, that is padded, sorry. Yeah, now the custom items, it's really tricky. You can set the inventory slot, all that. Now let me show you guys another feature. It's saving inventories. So I can't move those items because I have them set to not be able to move. So let's just create a quick image. Okay, there we go. So I saved that inventory. Now if I ever want to get back, all I gotta do is get the inventory, and that inventory you can set it so when a player joins, they'll get that inventory automatically, or when they change their world, if that world has a saved inventory, they'll get it. And it's just one of the many features of the plugin. And yeah, I mean, that's not everything, not even by a minute amount, but guys, you're gonna have to do /SuperHub and read up on this, please, or go to my page and just try to read through the stuff, because there's a lot you can do with this plugin. It's a really cool hub plugin. I like it a lot. And guys, I need to know what you want to see, because so far I've had a few testers help me out and tell me a little bit of stuff that they want, but this plugin is not for me. Like, this plugin is for you guys. So if there's anything you want to see, a custom item, a certain feature, please just let me know and we'll try to work that out. Alright guys, thank you for watching the video, and just drop me a line, okay?